Hello and welcome to this Marshals briefing video for the 2023 Corbeau Seats Rally Tendring Clacton. Firstly, we want to say a big thank you to you for volunteering to marshal on this major event. Many months of preparation have gone into the planning of this rally to ensure it is safe and enjoyable for the competitors, you the marshals, and the viewing public. The aim of this video is to give you an overview of the event, what you can expect from us, and what we can expect from you. Prior to the event, we would ask that you download and read a copy of the Marshals instructions, which will be available from the Sportity app. Access details will be emailed to you before the event. Contained inside this document are important details on the running of the event and procedures for dealing with any issues. This video is designed to complement this document, not replace it, so please make sure you do read it, especially as some of the procedures will differ from other Chelmsford Motor Club events you may have attended in the past. For this year's event, there are changes to stage routes and direction, so please read the documentation thoroughly, and if you have any questions, please get in contact with our Chief Marshal or your stage commander. We would also ask that you view the Motorsport UK First on Scene video. Prior to the event, you'll be notified by email of which stage you'll be marshalling at, and the location and times for signing on. These will differ for each stage, but you will be expected to be in position on stage 2 hours before the first competing car. The safety car convoy will commence approximately 1 hour 25 minutes before the first competing car is due through the stage. Prior to the first run, there will be a road closed car, and this will indicate to the residents and public that the road is now closed. To be clear, the road remains closed for the whole day. It will not reopen to public traffic until the rally is finished. The rest of the convoy will include the timekeepers, Chief Marshal, Spectator Safety Car, 000, Safety Delegate, 00 and 0 cars. If any of the safety car crews request your assistance to modify stage furniture, signage, or relocate spectators, please support them to make this happen as quickly and as safely as possible. If you need to communicate with the safety cars, you should use the FIA specified gestures to communicate "all okay" or "stop, I need support," as shown on screen now. Each stage is planned to run 3 times during the day, and in between the running of the stages there will be a gap of around 1 hour before the safety car convoy restarts. This time will be used as the residents' access period. The full procedure is outlined in the Event and Incident Management Plan. However, the idea is to allow residents access to enter or exit their property during this time. Vehicle access will be via the stage starts and finishes and will be controlled by the Stage Resident Liaison Officer in conjunction with the Stage Commander and Rally Control. All residents will have their own handbook listing the stage-specific information, processes and most importantly, the contact details for the Stage Resident Liaison Officer. For the most part, you will not need to be involved in this process, but please offer any assistance you can to residents where the stage taping or furniture needs removing or re-erecting to facilitate access. Additionally, in some areas it may be possible for residents to park on the adjoining access road and get to their property on foot. This is acceptable at any time when there are no competing cars on the stage, as long as you accompany the resident to their property. The goodwill of residents is very important to the continued running of the event, so we should do all we can to support them where it is safe to do so. If you are in any way unsure how to deal with resident requests, please call your Stage Resident Liaison Officer or Stage Commander for advice or instruction. The policy for this event is that the public are only allowed to watch at official spectator areas which are listed on the event website. Naturally, some residents will be able to watch from within the confines of their own properties and will have been given advice on safe and appropriate locations for this. Access to the stages via adjoining side roads will be controlled by security stewards who will restrict this to residents only and advise the public of locations of the official spectating areas. However, it is possible that some members of the public may find their way to your location by another route. We know it will not be possible for you to positively identify all residents or their friends and family, so if small groups of individuals gather at your location and do not move to spectator areas according to your advice, their presence can be tolerated if they're not in a prohibited area and they position themselves safely as you instruct. If your location is designated in the safety manual as being unsafe for residents or spectators, then they must be moved to a safe location. If you are at any time unsure, contact your stage commander or rally control via radio. Most fields adjacent to Marshals locations are private property, and in some locations we have been specifically told by landowners that there are no authorised residents. so you may be asked by your stage commander to remind any members of the public not on footpaths that they are trespassing on private land. All marshals are requested to ensure they have their whistle with them as part of their event equipment. This whistle is to be used for two purposes. Firstly, to advise the spectators and other marshals at their location of the approach of a vehicle, whether that's an official car, safety car or a competitor. And secondly, to advise the spectators at exactly 30 minutes before the first car due that there is to be no further movement on the special stage. This is to be done by a long continuous whistle at first car due minus 30 minutes. If you are marshalling a location where a public footpath or other right-of-way crosses the stage, you may need to support members of the public who wish to use this. Technically, the right-of-way is suspended for the whole day. However, if the stage is not live and it's safe to do so, you may escort any walkers across. This applies to crossing a road, not walking along it. It is very important that you are physically at the location which the footpath joins the stage route during the running of the stages. It is very important that you are physically at the location which the footpath joins the stage route during the running of the stages. You may need to stand on the footpath to be in a safe place. Again, if you're unsure, please contact your stage commander or ask a radio crew to inquire on your behalf. The day will be a long one and you'll be on post for around 12 hours. Please make sure you bring plenty of food and drink and clothing for all weather eventualities. There will be plenty of time for rest in between the running of the stages, so we advise bringing whatever you need to be comfortable. Incidents. We of course hope you won't have to deal with any, but there are a couple of notes and warnings we would like to cover. The first thing to note is the stages are being run at 30-second intervals. This means there will be very little time between the cars to safely move onto the stage to investigate or assist. If you must move onto a live stage, then before you do, please appoint a fellow marshal as a lookout to warn you of approaching cars and to warn those cars of your presence. Please remember, your safety comes first. Your first duty is to investigate the incident, the second is to offer any immediate assistance to the crew, and the third is to clearly report the details back to rally control, along with any request for additional help if required. If a vehicle has stopped or broken down at your location and can be safely moved onto an access road or off the stage, then please arrange this and report back via your radio crew. If a vehicle has left the stage but the route is passable and the crew is okay, please look after the crew and report this back to rally control. In both these scenarios, please ensure a warning triangle and OK board are left on display. If the situation is severe, with the stage completely blocked by a competing vehicle, please ensure your nearest radio crew reports this to rally control quickly and concisely, and please deploy marshals in the direction of the stage start to slow and stop the following cars. Please then follow further instructions from rally control. Only rally control will make a decision on the suspension or stopping of a stage, which will be done by using the red flag procedure. Red flags must not be displayed unless specifically authorised by rally control via the radio crews. The red flag marshal's role is one of the most important safety related roles on the event. If you're a red flag radio marshal, you'll be provided with a rolled red flag and a copy of the full red flag procedure inside the marshal's instructions. As a red flag radio marshal, you're responsible for ensuring the Motorsport UK safety delegate vehicle is shown the red flag as they pass your location to verify it is in place. The red flag should be kept inside the radio marshal's vehicle or under his or her control until required and not left unattended outside the vehicle. In the event of an incident, the clerk of the course will give the instruction to deploy the red flags via the radio controller. Upon receiving the instruction to deploy, the designated marshal, wearing a marshal's tabard, must stand in an appropriate, safe location adjacent to the special stage. The red flag should be held stationary, ideally at arm's length, so as to be clearly seen by any passing vehicle. Once deployed, the red flag should continue to be displayed until an instruction from the clerk of the course, via the radio controller, to withdraw the flag has been received. Should you observe a competitor who has been shown a red flag, not comply with the regulations and not reduce speed, then a written report recording these facts should be completed and handed to the sweeper car or uploaded by mobile. To be clear, the competitors must immediately and significantly reduce speed and then maintain this reduced speed until leaving the special stage. Chelmsford Motor Club takes this matter very seriously. We have and will continue to penalise competitors who breach this rule. If during the event you spot or are notified of any suspicious packages, you should report these to your stage commander or to rally control via radio. There are strict arrangements for accreditation and access of media. Only pre-authorised accredited media wearing their numbered media tabard are allowed in the stage, and then only in specific areas outlined in the safety plan. You both have jobs to do on the event, so please try to help each other. However, if you have any concerns which cannot be resolved on the ground, please ask your nearest radio marshal to contact Rally Control for advice or assistance. The roads will not reopen to the public until all vehicle recoveries have been completed and the stage equipment and furniture has been removed. You must not stand down, and you should remain at your marshal location until you see the road open car. You should treat the road as a live stage until then and continue to restrict access to members of the public. This is to ensure the safety of the marshals, officials and the public. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this briefing, and on behalf of the organising team, I wish you a safe and enjoyable day.